Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome down to the Vault. It is the Singapore Toys, Games and Comics Convention 2014 Media Preview. I am your host, Spider-Man. So it's true because I have a lanyard that says I'm Spider-Man. There's another guy here in the Spider-Man suit. He's not Spider-Man because he doesn't have a lanyard. I've got a lanyard. And today I've got a very lovely assistant who's running around helping me get stuff done. She's my sidekick and she's known as Kanjong Spider. She's a lovely lady. Before we start, help yourselves to some coffee. I had one thanks to the Vault. The problem was I just burped, and you know when you wear a mask and it burp, it's horrible. But down to the Vault. I sound a lot better this way. My name is Elliot Danka. Today is the media preview for STGCC 2014. It's been a great ride. I'll tell you how many editions we've had so far and what you can look forward to this morning. Now, if I could direct your attention over to the screen on your right. Shall we bring on some guests, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's start off in this order. First up, please put your hands together and welcome Alex Solis, creator of the famous Chunkies. It features oversized superheroes and villains. Joining us on stage is Lenneth. She's a Singaporean well known for detailed costumes and her portrayal of Bishonen, which means beautiful youth boy. Matt Fabris is next. Matt Fabris is next, also known as Secure, customized sneaker art, and it's got global runway success. And wrapping up the panel is Humberto Ramos, comic artist behind the newly relaunched Amazing Spider-Man series, Wolverine, New X-Men, and X-Men, as well as Runaways version 3. And I'm Spider-Man. Welcome to Singapore, everyone. How's it been? Anyone jet lag? No. All right, let's see if we can get a couple of mics around. Okay. One, and we'll pass it down. Maybe we'll start with Humberto. Let's talk a bit about the popular culture scene. I mean, in your opinion, how do you think it's evolved over the years? It's so different. It started off as a simple comic to keep boys company while their fathers were at war in the 40s, and now it's huge.
Well, to me, it's a blame the internet.
Everything's there.
I mean, when we were kids, I was a kid, there was nothing like this at all. There was no way that you can relate with people who like the same things that you did. So it was really hard to find these, let's say, tribes, you know, where you can hang out with, you know, people that you feel comfortable with. And now with all this technology, I think that the pop culture has evolved to be some mainstream thing. Yeah, like we have all things like the Big Bang Theory. You know, TV show to me is like the best example of what of pop culture or comic books in my case being now mainstream, like now everybody knows. But when they are not comic book readers or comic book fans at all, they now know how, or at least they have a glance on what it is to live in our world. Yeah.
Cool. That is so true. Matt, I've got a question for you. You are a kid having fun in a way, but I gotta ask you, what got you sucked into this pop culture world?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always read comic books as a kid, and like for me, I didn't know anyone else that did, you know. So I was made fun of for it when I was a kid, and then now, as Humberto said, like you know, it's all the TV shows I watch, the movies, like everything has crossed over now. So all of a sudden, having 28 years worth of like comic book knowledge, people like want to talk to you about it and know about it. And for me, I studied finance, but I used to do graffiti. So I was a graffiti artist, and then I just started painting things for myself, and it was completely by accident. I love superhero characters and the stories and the mythos of you know, all my favourites. And yeah, so it was just a hobby that turned into a job, and now instead of wearing a suit all day, I get to wear tracksuit pants, watch basketball, and paint robots. It's good.
Just to follow up with that, I mean, studying finance and then going to something in the creative industry, so to speak.
Yeah.
Judgment? Were your parents cool with it?
Look, I mean, so I got really good grades, so I would study all day and then go paint at 3 o'clock in the morning till like, you know, and then wake up and go back to school. So I think my parents knew that I wasn't causing civil damage, like I would only paint things that I considered to be okay, like train lines. And then, yeah, so it was something I was passionate about, and they knew that I just loved drawing. It was my outlet. I was more proud of a photo of something that took me 10 hours to do in the dark than the spreadsheet I'd just done and got a high distinction on. So it just ended up being the thing that after my 4 years of uni, I was most happy doing, and I was getting paid well to do it, and I decided to pursue that instead.
Pursuing passions. Let's move on to Leonard. How's it feel to be back in Singapore?
Great.
How long have you actually been in the US?
Actually, just studied over a year. I
Okay.
moved over in May last year.
Right. And what is it like? I mean, the difference between the cosplay scene here and the cosplay scene in the US? Especially the characters you choose as well.
I would say that in the States, like many people, they focus more on like big stuff like prop making, and definitely as compared to the local scene, you see a lot more Western costumes.
Okay.
I mean also because of its origins as well. And I think the biggest difference, other than size, would be like over there, you actually have a lot more materials that is just like ready for you, that or you can even just like purchase like online, and they actually focus a lot on like making things yourself, like costumes, wigs, or props, and whereas in Singapore, because it's like we actually do have a privilege of having tailors, so I do know like a good amount of people who if they can't sew, they are able to commission these tailors to make their costumes for them. So.
Right. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. It's very different. Here we tend to have to do everything ourselves.
Yes.
And our mothers and our parents will make noise about it. Alex, let's move on to you. I've got a very difficult question for you. Excellent, you've chosen the right guy. What do you think are some of the significant events in the world that has affected popular culture?
Well, I think pretty much everything, all the Marvel movies that came out, like stuff like that, I feel like it just like touches everyone. Where like even now, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I see so much of that going on. Like it's like stuff that you don't really think about, like as big world events. I guess that like touches everyone and kind of helps people keep their minds off of like the bad stuff that's going on. And I feel like that's a good thing to focus on. Like myself, when I'm creating art, like I feel like people can like take their minds off of like crazy stuff that's going on. Like I don't know, like the Ferguson events. I don't want to get like too like serious about it, but like I feel like it's just stuff like that that like for a second you can like forget about like the crazy stuff that's going on and like focus on everything. Like have a good laugh for like 1 second.
Is that how it is with you and your art? Like, does it take you to another world whenever you're involved in it?
Yeah, I mean, like, even the series I'm doing, the Chunkies, like, series, I just started that just, like, make my daughter laugh, and, like, to, like, for her to be like, oh, why are, like, Ninja Turtles eating pizza, and they're, like, always, like, running around, and, like, that, and I was like, I'll draw it for you, just so you can, like, and, I don't know, she thinks it's, like, hilarious, even out of them, so, it's, like, I guess if I see, like, one little kid laughing or anything, it, like, really motivates me to, like, keep doing that stuff.
Would you mind if I get a little personal and ask, was there, or what was the significant event in your life that got you, to go into popular culture, to go into drawing?
Okay, well, initially starting, I wouldn't even touch stuff. I was like, I just want to do my stuff. I want to be really original, but like that was the thing, like relating with people and like just seeing other people connect with my artwork more and like just a quick laugh and just like the connections I made and like making people laugh is like what keeps you going and like creating pop culture because it's like you can connect with a stranger that doesn't even speak your language just like through art. So I think that's like one of the main things I
Fantastic.
do pop culture.
Thank you for that. Leonard, let's move on back to you as we slowly make our way back. Your dog is not here. Now, if you don't know, Leonard actually cosplays with her dog. Huge golden retriever, which we were chatting earlier, is about 80 pounds, that's about 40 kilos.
Yes, that's right.
What, did he do this willingly?
No, okay. I actually brought him home
Okay.
since he was like 2 months old.
Okay.
So, and because it's like, I've actually waited to actually keep my own dog for like 6 years. So of course I'm just like chill. So I'm just like, look over here, you know, like let me take a photo of you like every single day. So like right now, he's really good with cameras. It's like when I ask him to sit, he'll just look at me. And just like, okay, I'll just take that shot. Yeah.
But it's tough to get a dog to want to take photos as well, right? Surely that was a huge challenge.
Nothing is too challenging when you have a treat in your hand.
Oh, that's true. When you have a treat in your hand, they love it. Matt, I gotta ask you about this one. Painting on sneakers, it's very unorthodox, and I think it's a brilliant art. But why sneakers?
So I'm a huge basketball fan, and I've played basketball my whole life. And like anyone who was born in the 80s, you wanted to be Michael Jordan. So I think sneaker culture exploded over the last decade, and where you used to be able to get something 2 weeks after it would come out, now kids are lining up for 3 or 4 days out the front of shops. And maybe there's 50 or 100,000 pairs of that shoes in the world.
Yeah.
And I used to like wearing things that I didn't see other people wearing around. And the only reason I started painting shoes was to have something myself that no one else had. I never started doing it to make money. Like I just did it for friends, to make them smile, make them happy as 21st birthday presents. And then shoes are just my thing. I got 450 pairs of shoes now. Yeah, so
450.
at last count.
Surely your house can't be big
No,
enough for.
I rent storage. I actually have to rent storage, yeah. So, and then that's the thing, I'm a shoe guy, so now that I get to work on collabs and manufacture shoes and produce my own shoes, it's amazing.
The girl I'm dating has 126 pair.
Yeah.
You're a man. You've
Yeah.
got
It's a lot. Dude, I think 20 pairs is a lot, to be honest. Like 450 is obscene, but I mean, I'm not going to give them away. Like, I'm happy about it.
Oh, passion.
Yeah, right.
Alberto, I want to ask you a deeper question. Could you tell us a little bit about the highs and lows of your career? Particular high, or maybe one of your best highs and one of your lowest lows.
Well, when you start this career, you start as a fan. I don't know if anybody who's professional in comic books that hasn't been a fan before going, pro. So I think the lowest point of my career is actually that you stop being a fan, because every once in a while people ask me, well, what would you do when you have a free time?
When it becomes a job.
Yeah, it's like, because when I was a kid, my hobby was to read comic books or buy comic books or draw comic books or talk about comic books with people. Nowadays, it's like when I have free time, I don't have that much of a free time myself, But whenever I have some, I don't want to feel like reading comic books at all, or I don't want to go to the comic book store or anything related to that part of the world of comic books. So I think that's the lowest point of what it is to be a comic book professional. Well, I'm not saying that everybody is like that.
Yeah.
It's just me. I just like, I just want to do something else with family. I like being with my family, with my friends, and so I do that kind of thing. And of course, the highest point of being a comic book professional is like, I get to hang around with people that I really admire.
Yeah.
And realize sometimes that they like my work back. So I remember having this, every year at the San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah.
Marvel Comics, they fix a dinner for the talent that goes to the show and do panels and signings for at the Marvel booth. And I remember one of those years having dinner in the same table as Joe Quesada, John Romita Jr., and Brian Bendis, and all these people that I really, grew up reading and really admired.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm not just being a fan around them, but I'm a buddy, and they kind of talk to me and they like my work back. And to me, that to me was like the coolest feeling ever, because I felt like I'm the luckiest fan ever.
I totally understand because, I actually am a professional sports TV host, but I love sports. But now I can't watch sports and enjoy it. I start to get really serious. Don't ever enjoy a Real Madrid game anymore. I related right now. Man U fans, anyone? We're having a good season. Matt, let's go on to you. What have you brought for us for STGCC? What can your fans look forward to?
So for me, I do manufactured stuff, but with that graffiti background, I really like the one-off production side of things. And so a lot of the work that I've brought for the event is custom, one-of-a-kind stuff. When you produce items, maybe, like I said before, there's tens of thousands and everyone has the same one, but to actually buy something that the artist has made and it's one of a kind, and it's like a modern sculpture sort of thing. And the shoes I make are completely wearable as well, so people sort of really tend to get involved with that. So I brought about 5 or 6 pairs of shoes and about 15 toys or so. So there's a good variety of stuff from sizes and toys and so mostly Kid Robot silhouettes because I work with them a bit.
And in case you have not put your name cards into the bowl at the registration table, I hope you've done so, because each of our guests this morning will be providing an item into this bundle pack. It's the lucky draw prize of this morning. It's very, very exciting. Matt, thanks a lot for that. Leonard, may I ask you, when did you come back to Singapore? When did you touch down?
About a month ago.
About a month ago. Okay, great. So you were away for a couple of months, close to a year.
Yes.
First thing you did when you touched down? What was the first thing you really, really wanted to do? Apart from char kway teow?
You got that right. Yeah, she got that right. It's definitely local food cravings. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like as much as we do have a lot of Asian communities in South California, that's where I am. But there is a very small community of like Singaporean or Malaysians, so it's even harder for me to find home cooked food over there.
And that's where you start to appreciate mom's cooking a lot. Alex, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How are you going to be spending your time in Singapore? Rita, cover your ears.
Well, so far I've been like just trying to meet as many people as I can and hanging out and drinking lots of beer. Like actually tonight we have like an event we created, so it's like where you can meet people and like hang out and drink, and like my work actually bought a cake, so like we're hoping like people will show up and have fun and drink. So.
You said drink about 3 times, keg once, beer once as well, drink 4 times. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our guests. Alex Solis, Leonard, Matt Fabris, and Humberto Ramos, thank you very much. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take an Oscar-style selfie. I've got a selfie stick with me as well. Every one of you would have a STGCC pamphlet in your goodie bag, right? I need you guys to hold that up. So what we're going to do is, on this side of the stage, we're going to take a selfie from here. I need everyone to hold out the pamphlet. And what we're trying to do for this weekend is to start a bit of a movement, a hashtag movement. So once you guys are done, make sure you hashtag us on Instagram, okay? It's hashtag Singapore TGCC and hashtag STGCC 2014. Now throughout the rest of this event, we've still got about an hour more to go. Take as many selfies as you can and make sure you include those hashtags. Get the artists in your selfies. I know a lot of you got really awesome professional cameras, but we want to start this selfie movement. It's Singapore TGCC as well as hashtag STGCC 2014. Okay, let's try and get this selfie done. I'm the worst person to do a selfie, by the way. Okay, we want to try and get everyone in the shot. Okay. She says, good luck, I'm gonna need it. Okay, so let me just get this right. If I could get everyone to gather closer to the stage, with our artists as well. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright? Okay, hang on. Right. Yeah. Use your long hands.
Okay, let's get everyone in, squeeze in as much as possible. I just want to share with everyone a secret.
Yeah.
I'm blind, so I can't see the camera.
You guys in the shot.
Okay, let's get everyone in the shot. Is everyone in?
Wait, just give me a minute.
Okay, no, I really am blind, so someone needs to help me. Alright, is everyone in? Get everyone to hold up their pamphlets.
Hold up your pamphlets.
There we go. I told you I'm blind. Alright, let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Safety shot. Everyone hold up your pamphlets. 3, 2, 1. And we are awesome. Big round of applause.
No, it's a little known secret that I really am blind. Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again to our guests, a big round of applause for them.
We have spent quite a lot of time in Singapore cosplay scene. So in this transition, what is really the biggest difference that really stood out when you first went into the US scene?
The thing that really involved me at first is definitely like the sheer size of how big their conventions are, and how everyone is really vocal over there. So it's like when they like someone else's costume, it's like they'll be so like really focused, like even though they may be like inside like a restaurant just having like a burger or something like that, they'll just like come out and just like, I really like your costume, just saying that kind of thing, which makes you feel really and like it really does boost your confidence as well.
Over the years, we have cosplayed quite a lot of characters, like from divas like Korean Ravel to maybe some guys, town guys like Tachibana Makoto. So what would you say is your trigger for the character, and what would make you want to cosplay a character?
When I watch a series, like I wouldn't really know like what would strike me to me because like I don't have like a stereotype, like a certain stereotype, but so it's like there is such a big difference between like Nagyo and Makoto, but I think okay, so it's like for Makoto, I really liked him because he's someone that I would kind of want to like, because it's like he's really gentle and he's very caring to his family and his friends. So like to me, I'll just be like, how nice it would be if I could be like him. So that was kind of like my trigger point. And for Ryo, I think she's really striking. You can't deny that. She's so striking. She's like a walking stage. Yeah. So like for me, what really drew me to her was she's one of going, and even though she's an antagonist, but she brings with her such class, and so it's like to me, I know that I really like how she's portrayed, and also at that point of time I'll just be like thinking like, and like if I'm to cosplay her, will I be good enough to do it? And because it's like thinking about all the technical aspects, like the lighted hair and also and especially like the character portrayal, which is also very important. I would say that it's kind of like I was very fortunate that it came together all pretty well.
So, with the considerable high level of cosplay you are at, there's probably a lot of pressure and sort of competition in there. So, what keeps you going on cosplaying and what is the motivation?
Actually, for me, I don't really see it as like competition. I kind of say like if I let's just say like the most cosplay character I would probably see at an event that I really like is probably a little bit lovable. So it's like for me, it's like whenever I say about lovable, I'll just be like so it's like to me it's kind of like a friendly sort of thing. So I don't really think like I'm better than thing. So it's really like a one big family or something. And what really drives me is only my passion, which I would say that should be the leading factor for all cosplayers.
Your courses are general, very well done, very intricate and very well crafted. So, but is there any particular area where you would like to focus more on, like maybe focus more on other parts like makeup, setting, costume, or props? What is that for?
Actually, for me, when I cosplay, I tend to want to deliver it as a package. So it's like there are times whereby the cosplay can be really simple, but let's just say if the setup is one of the kind, I would actually spend more time doing the setup instead of the costume. And so as a result, it became something that I actually put more emphasis on photo shoots as compared to going for conventions.
You have had shoots that involve underwater shots, intricate setups, and some maybe finicky props and lighting. Then what would you say is the most difficult cosplay of photo shoot you have had so far?
They are pretty much level because it's like for underwater shoots, it's definitely really tiring because to actually be able to stay underwater, you have to exhale before you go into the water so that you are able to stabilize yourself. Whereas it's like there are other shoots whereby we have to travel quite a bit of time. Like for Zero, I actually my photographer and I we actually drove up 7 hours to San Francisco to a place we have never started. So it's everything was kind of like a hit or miss, but luckily it did hit. Yeah.
So that'll be all from me. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Just a few questions. Have you done photo shoots in Singapore before? Okay. How is it different from in the US? Because in Singapore context, sometimes you get into trouble with the building owner and those sort of things.
Okay, so it's like in America, right? We definitely still do have like the like how to say issues with security and such, but I think it's also because we are definitely much smaller than the States. So in terms of locations wise, America does definitely has the upper hand. Yeah, whereas it's like in Singapore, places right now, they you probably need to pay to be able to use it. Whereas like in America, like most places that I've gone to, they have been kind enough to actually like when they look at you, they'll be like, oh, that's quite cool. Like what are you doing? That kind of thing. And then they will like actually like without any form of like monetary means or whatever, they just like they do loan their place to you, and of course it's just on the promise that it isn't used for commercial purposes. Yeah.
Last question for me. How does it feel like to be invited back to Singapore for a Singaporean event and that you are Singaporean?
It's definitely an honor because it's like how to say most local events they invite really prestigious like foreign cosplayers. So when I first received the message that I was going to be invited for an event that was like at home, you know, to me it was kind of like wow, like really, like me, like kind of that's a reaction. But overall, it's definitely a pleasure, and I really look forward to meeting everyone and to work with the organizers as well. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you very much.